Welcome back, everybody. Today we are making baked oats macarons. Baked oats has gone viral on TikTok with about 929 million views. It seems to be like this oat cake style breakfast dessert. I'm not sure how I feel about that. The only type of oats I had were in oatmeal, and I'm not quite sure how it's all gonna work out when I incorporate it into the macarons. I'm gonna go do my research on ChatGPT and see what it has to say about that. So ChatGPT is recommending that I work the oats into the meringue of the macaron. And if you have worked with the meringue, you know that it's very sensitive. So if you just mix anything in there, you're not really gonna come out with a good product. I can't even imagine. The way I'm going to incorporate my oat flour or whatever it is that I'm gonna do a light dusting, a light cascading across the macarons on the top right before they dry out. Fun little fact, the macaron shells actually don't hold much of the flavor for the macaron. That's usually done within the filling. That macaron is so sensitive in texture and moisture. The sensitivity of it makes it virtually impossible to incorporate other flavors into it. I'm just trying to do my research and trying to figure out how on earth I'm going to make this an oatmeal delight. Watching videos upon videos of different recipes for baked oats was kind of hard to find and nail down the original recipe for baked oats. So I ended up looking up a recipe on ChatGPT for the original baked oats recipe. Half a cup of oats. I have 1 medium banana, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. I have a half a teaspoon of the baking powder, and I have 3/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So since I really don't have a ramekin in hand, I'm just gonna use this container right here to throw in all my ingredients because it seems like the most practical thing to do and to stick in an oven that it'll be safe. This, I feel like, is my worst nightmare, oats and oatmeal. Let's see. Here I have the finished product for my baked oats, and it looks pretty nice. It has that little crater there. I'm gonna go ahead and just grab my spoon and dig right into this. I'm gonna save the rest of this overnight until tomorrow and see how it fares in the fridge overnight. Does it get dry? Like, what actually happens to this when it cools down? See, that's not that bad. Not a fan of like banana tasting things or banana bread, but really isn't that bad. Like, the banana goes really good with the oats. I think what I might do with my macarons, the cakey part in the middle of the moat, kind of make a moat of buttercream inside of my macaron and put this in the middle as a filling. You'll see when I do it. Taste the rest of this. Pretty good. I like that it's not too sweet. It's just like the right hint of oats in there. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. Tomorrow I can get nice and ready, prepare my macarons, get onto baking. Okay, so it is the next morning and I'm going to start pulverizing these oats so that I can sprinkle the oat flour right over my macaron. I'm gonna pipe my macarons first and then sprinkle them right over. At least that's what the plan is, to get these oats on top of the macarons without changing the texture of the macaron shells or the tops or anything like that. And now I'm gonna get my oat flour and just cascade it on the top of my macarons very lightly. I don't want oat flour all over the place, if you know what I mean. So I finished baking all of my macaron shells. I'm so tired, so I'm gonna call it a night, but I thought I would show you guys these macarons. They came out really, really nice. Have nice lift here, and they have some like oats on the top. I don't know if you can see it. I'm ready to pack these up and put them in the freezer and get them ready for tomorrow because I'm gonna fill them with some white chocolate ganache. Whipped white chocolate whipped white chocolate ganache. Okay, it's like 7:30 in the morning and a lot of my family are sleeping right now. So I'm trying to be extra quiet and not like throw pots and pans around and wake everybody up. I had a great sleep after yesterday's macaron baking, but it's time to finish these things up. So today or this morning, I'm gonna make my white chocolate whipped ganache. I think I said that correctly. And then I have like a lunch date with one of my coworkers. Well, two of my coworkers. One of them is my former principal, and another one is my new vice principal. Figures, right? By the time I come back from that lunch, my white chocolate ganache, white chocolate whipped ganache has finally set and firmed up a bit, so I can start whipping it for my baked oats macarons. We'll see how they taste. So the goal for this whipped ganache is to boil this heavy cream, make sure that this turns into a whipped ganache. Whipped ganache is kind of a new concept for me. I've always made like pipeable ganache. You guys have seen my Tangulu macaron video, which is linked right above. You can see that I piped those Tangulu macarons with chocolate ganache. We'll see how it turns out once I take it out of the fridge once it's set. Okay, so the whipped white chocolate ganache is done and it's finished. I don't know why I have such a hard time saying the words. White chocolate whipped ganache. Whipped white chocolate ganache. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna go get ready to have my lunch date, and I will be back with you guys in just 3, 2, 1. I'm ready to go get that whipped ganache out of my refrigerator and go ahead and whip it up and show you guys how I do that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pipe it into my macaron shells, show you guys how it all looks, describe to you how it tastes. Even though it is 4:18 in the afternoon, I'm getting ready to dig into something that is potentially a breakfast dessert. So I'm going to go ahead and taste a fully constructed macaron with baked oats infused inside of it. So let's try that. That was actually pretty good. I think I'm gonna have a second one. It just has a real nice velvety cinnamon warm taste, and I could taste a hint of that banana inside of the baked oats or baked oat cake, whatever you want to call it. Let me go ahead and bite into this again. Just see that whipped ganache just oozing right out of the macaron. Really gives it a good texture with that nice soft center with the baked oat cake inside. Pretty good. And I like the crust on the outside that it has blended up oats. It gives it a good crunch on the outside of the macaron shell. Call this a win. After eating those macarons, I think that I'm gonna go ahead and eat the rest of my baked oats. Put some of that whipped ganache because that was delicious, and top it off with that because I think that's the best way to end today's dessert tasting session. So if you guys like what you see, please subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and share with your families.